Hey guys, welcome back. Alright, so tonight I have to paint a bunch of little greebly pieces. I have a whole bunch of parts here. And most of them I'm going to do with Alclad because the rest of the project I did all with Alclad with a tinted clear coat like I mentioned in one of my other videos. And so most of them are going to be done that way. However, there are a few parts that are going to be silver, and I figured I would do those with the Duralumen since I have this now. Now when I started the project, I didn't even know about Duralumen at the time, and by the time I got into it, I had already established that I would be painting with Alclad, so I want the look to match. So most of these parts will be Alclad, but I do have both types of paint here. I have the Duralumen and the Alclad, and we're going to paint with both so you can see the difference. I like them both. They both have strong points. The Duralumen is really awesome, so we'll show that. But the base coat on all of these is the same. It's the same as the video that I did making the Stormtrooper helmets, and I'll tag this at the end. I'll attach that video at the end of this one so you can see that. You can see like the basic setup that I'm doing now. Yeah, let's get started here. So with these little greebles, because they're small, I'm going to be using an airbrush instead of my paint sprayer. And I'm going to be using two separate airbrushes. This little airbrush is a super cheap one. I think I got this at Harbor Freight for like probably around $10, maybe even less. I think I actually paid about $8 for it because it had a coupon for, I don't know, 30% off or something, and there's a few dollars. And I have this one actually connected to my air compressor outside, so I've got plenty of air through here. It's about probably 15 psi right now. And then I'm going to use this for the Alclad, and I would like to use this same type of airbrush for the Duralumen, but I found out that if I run Duralumen through one of my Alclad airbrushes, which I don't clean very carefully, it reactivates the leftover Duralumen, the Duralumen reactivates the leftover Alclad that I have not cleaned out very well, and it makes the Duralumen do weird stuff. So I will be using a different airbrush for the Duralumen, which is my, this is an Iwata Eclipse, and this is, typically I use this for spraying like acrylics or alcohol-based paints, so this one gets cleaned really well every time. The Alclad I don't clean very well, and the only reason is because it just doesn't seem to build up. I may spray a little alcohol in it and spray it out, but I never do a thorough cleaning, so there's always a little bit of Alclad left in these spray guns. So we're going to be using these. So let's see, I guess I'll start with a little bit of the Duralumen, and we'll see how that goes here. I'm using regular, for this one I'm using my airbrush compressor. This is, I don't remember, this is like the Iwata Studio series or something. And, yeah, I'm tangled up in this airbrush. Just pop the hose. I probably have a little too much pressure going through, so the hose keeps wanting to come off. So, anyway, that's fine. I'll set that one down there for now. And so these parts, you can see that I put them on these little stands so I could do the clear coat. So I'm just going to break these off of here. I'm going to paint these little guys silver. And I'm not going to clear coat these. I am going to tint the Alclad ones like I mentioned, but they will be, I'm just so you can see them together, I'm just only going to do the silver stages tonight. So let me set this down over here. We get a little bit of Duralumen into the airbrush and shake it really well. With these metal paints, you want to shake them like crazy because the metallic bits settle at the bottom, and you want to make sure that they are thoroughly mixed into the carrier agent, whatever that is, the enamel or whatever they use. The Duralumen smells very different than the Alclad, so it's clearly not the same stuff. So with this airbrush, I'm just going to go gentle. I might even have the pressure. Yeah, it's fine. Slightly high, but it'll be okay. And I'm going to very lightly go over this. I don't know if you can see this in camera. I'll get a little closer here. I'll be doing a few of these, so you can take a look. And I feel with the Duralumen, you can go slightly heavier coat a little faster than the Alclad when you build this up. I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of turning metal now. Now, in retrospect, these little pieces I probably should have done with a gray base coat because the parts that I'm replicating are aluminum, and I feel like the gray base coat imitates aluminum more than a black base coat, which looks more kind of like chrome, nickel-plated chrome-ish. I'm spraying this a little bit wetter than I would do with the Alclad, but a similar process where I'm just going over it a few times. It looks very, very light in this camera because I have this crazy ass ring light on, but it's pretty good. The reflection's pretty good. You see a little dark spot right there, but not big deal. It's pretty good. Let me shut this light off so you can look at this without the reflectivity. You can see a little bit better. This looks pretty awesome. Focus. Focus. There we go. So you can see it's very reflective, shiny, looks nice. And that's the Duralumen. Looks really good. I mean, compared to my airbrush, which is real chrome, it's not quite as shiny, but it's trying to focus on my face. But, I mean, that's a pretty good finish. So, anyway, I got a couple more of these to do. And another one of these flat items here. And I am not coating those. I'll turn my light back on. So, we have these little flat button things. So, I'm going to do one of these real quick. There's little discs here. Looks like the inside edge of this piece didn't get quite as much clear coat as I'd like, but it's not bad. And these parts are going to get weathered in the end anyway, so it's not a total travesty if they're not perfect, but I just want to make sure they're nice and silver. I see some reflectivity on that one. Let me make sure the focus is in the right place. You see the reflection of the airbrush. Pretty good, pretty good. As soon as this airbrush is empty, I'll swap over to the Alclad and we'll take a look. I'm gonna go spray this other one here. I'm spraying. Let me see if I can get this in camera. I'm gonna spray light coat, but again, slightly heavier than I would do the Alclad coat. Now, I would definitely, I have two fans right behind the camera here. You can probably hear them. I would definitely recommend, if you're going to use these paints, wear some kind of respirator or something. It cannot be good to breathe this, especially with these real fine metal particles. Probably not the best thing to do in a small space. But let me try this with the light off again. See if we can get some reflections. See the reflections of the airbrush in there. See my hand. Looks pretty good. Yeah. Golly. Yay. Okay, so blast out the other ones here. We go real quick. And these guys, since I'm going fast, as the first coat dries, which dries very quickly, similar to Alclad. There we go. I've just emptied my airbrush. So let's switch to the other airbrush and do something with Alclad here. Check it out. So keep the Duralumen separate over here. And back to Alclad, same deal. We're gonna mix it up really well, shake it like crazy. And as that Duralumen dries, it's funny, I'm looking at it right now off camera, and I feel like the reflectivity goes up. These flat pieces are hard because you have to get them just the right angle to see stuff reflected in them, but they look good. I feel like the rounded pieces reflect more stuff, so it's easier to kind of to judge how it looks. God damn it, focus. There we go. See how nice that looks? It's pretty good. And the thing I like about the Duralumen is that it seems to be sturdier right out of the bottle. So without even doing anything to it, it seems to work a little bit better. So let's see how we're doing here. I haven't used this airbrush in a long time, so I haven't even tested it to see how it's gonna go. We're just gonna go for it here. Put a little bit of Alclad in the airbrush. Load it up. And we will grab one of these cylindrical greebles here. Looks like this little guy. And this is just gloss black right now. It's very shiny. It's got a little bit of a flat spot on one side. Doesn't matter. It's going to be hidden. Okay, we got some Alclad coming out. So with the Alclad, you want to make sure that it comes out really fine. So what I do is I dial it back so nothing comes out. And I'll put my finger kind of in front of it and open it just a tad until I start to get a little bit of flow. You know, a little more than that maybe. Open. Oh, big old blast came out. There we go. There we go. It is going on really fine. Like almost hard to see it fine. Oh, but a tiny bit more. And because this is a single action airbrush, you don't have to worry about the flow rate or anything. You kind of set it and then forget it, which is handy. So we got a little piece here. It's looking pretty metallic. There's a little flat spot on one side where there's a little bit of overspray, I think, from when I was spraying some of the other parts. It's a little soft. Put that down. Let's do another one of these real quick. While I'm set up. Oh, the little piece just went flying off the end of the stick. That's not good. Let me try again with a different one. I'll be more gentle this time. Yeah. Alright. A little bit different shaped part. And the Alclad dries really fast. I mean, the Duralumen dries fast, but the Alclad dries very, very fast. I think it looks pretty nice. My camera says I only have 24 minutes of recording time, and I'm 13 minutes in, so I gotta speed up this little test I'm doing. Now, typically what I'll do is I'll take this in the light and test it against, I'll get like a white piece of paper or something, and look at the reflection of the paper on the Alclad or the Duralumen, just to make sure I've got good coverage. Because if there's ever a thin spot, it'll show, especially if you're going to tint this. If you're going to tint this like a gold or whatever color, if there's any spots that are a little bit dark, they will be super accentuated by the tint coat. So anyway, let me do this thing with the light again. Turn the light off and look, focus. And this is the Alclad, looking real shiny. Let's look at both of them next to each other here. So here's the three. So the Alclad are the two end ones, and the Duralumen is the middle there. And they all look really good. I think the Alclad is just a little bit shinier than the Duralumen right out of the bottle. But, like I said before, thing keeps trying to focus on my face. The Duralumen is immediately more durable. Now, with the Alclad, the thing I have not done yet is I just take a little piece of tissue and you give it a little buff to polish it, because there'll be like a little layer of kind of like a metal dust on the surface, and you just wipe it with a soft cotton cloth or a piece of tissue, kind of buff it down, and it gets that off of there, and you get like a clearer reflections. See, it looks really good. And then again, Duralumen also looks really good, nice and reflective. With Duralumen, you don't have to polish it. It doesn't ever get that like dusty surface like the Alclad, which I like. So again, I just sprayed this a few minutes ago. If I touch it, it doesn't seem to make any difference whatsoever. If I give it a little buff, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so anyway, that's where we're at. One last look. Duralumen, Alclad, both are great. I think the Alclad is just a hair shinier, just a little bit, barely. But because this is durable, because it's more durable right away, especially just as straight silver, if I'm not going to coat this, this is probably going to be my go-to silver probably from now on, just because the Duralumen is just a little more handleable right away. You can weather it, and like if I weathered this and I was trying to buff it down, there's a chance I could start to rub off the Alclad. Now if I'm polishing it, it doesn't have affected at all, but if I'm really like bearing down on it and stuff, it'll probably lift some of the metal. But this one doesn't seem to do that at all. The Duralumen seems very sturdy right away, so I think that makes Duralumen my main choice. However, the Alclad is still really good. So anyway, just a quick look. I'm gonna get back to painting these things, and I just figured I'd share. So hopefully that was informative to some of you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, kids.